Hello and good evening and welcome to this also. Today in this video we're going to talk about one of the rising issues in the world, which is Israel and Palestine conflict. 30,000 people have reportedly been killed in Palestine. This war started back then on October the 7th when Hamas killed 1100 people and were taken few of them as a hostages, and now Israel is demanding them to release the hostages, which I will also demand. And the second stuff, I also condemn what Hamas did on the October 7, and that the thing shouldn't have happened with Israel. No one should have been killed in this war, neither Israelis nor Palestinian. But now enough is enough. That's what America, even United Nations, all the European countries are saying enough is enough. Even Joe Biden clearly mentioned that it is so enough, and Israel has gone so far with this war, and now Israel should have stopped. It has to stop because it killed approximately 30,000 people. The situation for Palestinian in Gaza is rapidly evolving, the worst humanitarian crisis in modern memory. More than three-quarters of its 2.2 million residents, half of whom are children, are internally displaced, trapped in one of the most densely populated areas in the world, with minimal access to food, water, or healthcare. Since 7 October, when Hamas militants from Gaza invaded Israel, killed more than 1,000 civilians, that's true, and took hundreds of hostages, that's also true, and one of the horrified things ever happened or done by Hamas, and I am criticizing Hamas for doing this stuff personally. Israel has intentionally bombed the enclave, hindered the flow of humanitarian aid, and destroyed civilian infrastructure. As a result, more than 30,000 Palestinians have died in Gaza, mostly women and children, according to the United Nations, and more than 72,000 have been injured. Yet these figures mark only the beginning of the public health catastrophe. Those who survive the war will face long effects. Thousands of Palestinians will be living with missing limbs, compromised immunity, mental illness, and other conditions. Meeting their needs will be a decades-long undertaking, one that no global aid organization has adequately planned for. The World Health Organization, the World Food Programme, UNICEF, the Palestine Red Crescent Society, CARE, International and Doctors Without Borders, all like concrete, long-term plans to address health needs in Gaza. According to information each organization shared with New Scientist, Save the Children, and the international committee of the Red Cross did not respond to the questions on their long-term plans. The lack of planning for the coming decades is partly due to the enormity of the humanitarian crisis. Most people in Gaza are living in crowded conditions without sewage treatment and garbage removal. On average, people have less than 1 liter of clean water per day. As a result, infectious disease is rampant. A survey in a limited number of refugee shelters in December and January found that at least 90% of children under 5 years old had one or more infections. 14. Broken hospitals. Gaza has total 40 hospitals. 14 are partially functioning, 35% of 40 hospitals. 4 are mainly functioning, 10%. 22 are not functioning, mean majority of the hospitals are not working in Gaza. And doctor may not be able to give a proper treatment and provide proper treatment to these people who are lying down in bed. I don't know why there are very less people who are talking about this subject, and still mainstream media is debating on this subject. Do you condemn Hamas? Yes, I do condemn Hamas. Everybody condemns Hamas for the things they have done exactly on October the 7th, where they killed 1,000 innocent people, were taken, few of them as hostages. It was absolutely bizarre to see what happened with these people. This thing shouldn't have happened with Israel. But what is going on in Palestine? Do you really think that Palestinians really deserve to be killed like this? Palestinians really, needed to be displaced like this? And few days ago I read the news that Israel clearly mentioned that we are destined to do that, and we're gonna invade Rafah, where 1.2 million people are sheltering right now. And United Nations itself clearly said that if Israel would invade this place, and if IDF will move 1 inch forward and kill these people, it would be catastrophic, genocide. It will be genocide. I don't know why they are saying it will be genocide. Whatever they have done so far in Palestine, whatever they have done now with Palestinian peoples, it's already been a genocide. That's what I mean about it. Look at that, the charts, look at the data. 90% of children under 5 years old had one or more infections. These people are going to have a long-term health crisis. These people are going to have long-term health-related problem. A lot of them are going to live without the legs. A lot of them are going to live without the ears. A lot of them may be going to live without the eyes or maybe their hands. I'm not an expert in this field, but I am a news enthusiast who loves to read news, who loves to know the facts. So when I compare this thing, when I see what happened on October the 7th, and I made a video on this thing as well, where I clearly said Hamas shouldn't have done this stuff with Israel. It is absolutely rubbish stuff to happen with anybody. It is so sad to see like what Hamas did with Israel. But now what Israel is doing with, this innocent Gazans, innocent people in Palestine, it is absolutely bizarre. Have you ever seen those videos which are floating now, which are just widespread on social media so badly, where these kids are just begging? I saw one video, let me tell you the reality. I saw one video where a kid is saying, my biggest dream is right now to have a one bread and piece of bread now in my hand. I have never thought that it would be the dream of somebody to have a one piece of bread on their hand. I have never thought that it would be the dream of someone to have a bread on their hand. I never thought. So the thing is here is like even women, and the report also said like those women who are pregnant, they are not allowed to give birth here. Israel has appointed the snipers across the like the hospitals building, where in the hospitals people are not allowed to cross the window. So if anybody try to cross the window, or if anybody crosses the window, the snipers will shoot them down. Okay, let's think about it. They are claiming that somehow these people are Hamas. These people are connected with Hamas. How do you know? In the hospital, maybe Hamas people are living. We do not know Hamas are living or not. We don't know. But we know that doctors are living in that area. We know that patients are living in that area. So what if someone will try to cross the window? Will it kill them? Yes, according to them, they will. Illness in 70% child had experienced diarrhea in the past 2 weeks, and that does not account for the hundreds of thousands of people who are not in refugee shelter, says Margaret Harris at the WHO World Health Organization. Hunger is also rampant. Almost 2/3 of households eat only one meal a day, and much of the population faces malnutrition and starvations. Gaza Hamas-run Health Ministry reported on March 7 that 20 people, including 15 children, had recently died from malnutrition and dehydration. Poor surveillance means the real numbers are probably far higher. The difficult thing about malnutrition in children is that it begets more illness, says Tanya Haj Hassan at Doctors Without Borders. Malnourishment makes infections more likely, which damages the intestine, making it hard to absorb nutrients. So they become more malnourished, more, immunocompromised, and it just becomes this vicious cycle. I do not understand. 100% of the people in Gaza, they have faced malnutrition problem. Those kids who are just under 5, they have faced these challenges in their life. They have nothing to do with war. Those women who got killed by Israelis, they have nothing to do with war. Hostages need to release right now the Hamas. They should release them immediately so that they can meet the people of their family, their relatives. They have been dramatically and disastrously mentally damaged by these Hamas, where they've been held, as a hostages. They did not deserve to be treated like this, but whatever's going on with Palestinians, it's also heartbreaking. It is also like unbelievable things to see. That's what's going on with these people. 93% of Gaza's population faced food insecurity. 100% of Gaza's population faced high food insecurity. 30,000 Palestinians have died in Gaza as a result of the conflict. 72,000 of them have been injured. 90% of children under 5 in Gaza have one or more infectious illness. 2/3 of Gaza's households eat only one meal a day. 1/4 of the populations of Gaza is facing imminent starvation. You can imagine what I'm talking about. These are the facts which has been written in just front of me on my mobile phone, where I'm reading these things. And this has been published by the New Scientist. So it brought my attention. I thought I should make a video on this, and that's why I'm making it. So if you have a 1% of dignity, you've got a 1% of dignity and honesty, just try to see these people who are begging on the street for foods. Would you like to see your kids in this situation? No. Whether they are Israelis or Palestinians, I don't want to get a sympathy, and I don't want to be called by others that I'm a pro-Palestinian supporters, but I support the facts. I support what I'm reading so far. I support that these things should not be happen with these people in Gaza, where these people have been killed, infant babies have been killed, and those people who have not been killed, they are going to see the lifelong challenges where they will have to lose their hands and legs because they're not going to have it anymore. People are not allowed to cross the windows in the hospitals and other areas where Israel has already appointed some of the snipers across the buildings where they will kill anybody who tries to cross the, like the windows. Is it a right thing to do with these people? I don't know. But whenever I see these videos on social media where people are talking about they deserve to be like this, they deserve to be treated, they deserve and they're destined to be killed, it hurts me. What happened to Western media? What happened to Americans? What happened to UK's government? What happened to everybody? Why there's no one who's talking about Gaza? Why there's no one talking about being silent? Make them feel quite good? That's all right. But history will remember this incident always. I'm not targeting anyone, but this is the fact that what I'm reading and what I have analyzed in this video. I'm not an expert in this field, as I said. I am a common person who reads news, who loves to read news. But here's the fact. Even a blind person can see what's going on. Even he cannot see, then he can listen what's going on with these Gazas. 30,000 people have been killed. Most of them are women and children. Do you think they have anything to do with terrorism? They have anything to do with Hamas? I don't think so they have anything to do with Hamas. Those moms who have lost their infant babies, are they going to forgive Israel, whatever they have done with them? I don't think so they will. And they should not, according to me. Because they have gone through enough. And when they have seen this bizarre situation in their life, a 5-year-old child who's facing the problem, same goes to Ukraine. Same goes to Ukrainian kids who have seen the bizarre situation in Ukraine, barbarisms done by Russian President Vladimir Putin, that the same thing goes for everybody who have seen a war in their early age. It's not about only those people who are getting killed in Gaza. Everywhere, those who have seen a massive massacre in their early stage of life, if somebody has faced this thing in my country, I would have said the same thing. I would have said the same thing for them. It's not about only Palestinians, it's about everything. No such children should have been killed in this war. Either it was like Israeli or it was like Palestinian. No such children should have been killed in this war. That's what I think about it. But I think enough is enough, and now this thing should be stopped. Gazans need help, and that's what America and United Nations have decided to do so. So let's see how long are they going to help these Gazans and when the ceasefire will start. Thank you for watching this video. Really, thank you very much for this. I really appreciate it. Take care. Bye-bye.